What you're about to see is a series of games that will showcase the incredible calculation skills of a 900 ELO player and how to checkmate your opponent so that you can learn the patterns and maybe finally understand how to lose 100 ELO points in a day. In the first game in question we are playing white as one of my first game after reaching 900, and here we'll showcase a perfectly executed 900 ELO reverse King's Indian. Starting already by going out of the theory, because I watched a video on how to play it, but of course my YouTube Shorts cook brain cannot focus long enough to actually study it and apply it properly. So we are playing c3 because they played e5, and now I'm scared of playing the knight on f3, and in 4 moves we are already in a losing position. But I'm not discouraged because I know I will be perfectly able to find tactics in the middle game to win. So bishop f4, opponent plays bishop d6. So I take because again I'm scared that I'll lose if I open the king side. Then some more moves. I need to castle, so I let my queen to get pinned. But anyway the opponent is too much in a hurry and takes. Then some more moves that I have no idea what they do. And as I always hear pawn breaks, I push the pawn supported by the rook, and of course my 900 ELO mind forgets the existence of en passant, and now the lane is open for my queen and rook, staring right at the king. Well, more or less. My opponent doesn't waste 1 second and opens the way even more for my queen, and after a couple of exchanges I'm in. My brain wants to checkmate. The adrenaline rises, my heart beats faster, I can feel it. I check them again, I grab a pawn, allowing the opponent to check me. But I'm not scared. King moves, they attack my queen. I check, they move. I check again, I grab another pawn, and after a couple of questionable moves my low elo brain sees it. A legendary checkmate, with a brilliant move, sacrificing the queen, because after takes, it is not checkmate. Of course not. What were you thinking, that the rook was pinned? So we exchange the rooks, but after this again my powerful brain cannot be stopped, and after blundering a whole queen, I decide that it wasn't enough, and I proceed to checkmate myself with rook g1. Opponent plays queen h3. Game over. So after this amazing start we have another incredible checkmate attempt on the same side, playing the highest rated opponent of my life as the highest ELO of my life. We are playing white again with the reverse King's Indian, and here interestingly the opponent plays a King's Indian too, so we are mirrored, and I have no idea how to proceed like this, so we build our castle and incredibly we are still following theory. Then what? We didn't study after that, so of course random move, let's develop. It cannot be bad. We push some pawns, d5, d4, bring out the bishop, we put the knight on a juicy square. It doesn't look bad until now. We are staying principled as much as we can, as our savior Levy teaches us. I push h3 because I don't want their knight to come forward, and then it starts, the low elo shuffle. Once a pawn break you can only brace yourself, no one knows what's going to happen. Queen out, me scared so push pawn. They move the knight, I have no idea what they are trying to do, they are moving pieces on both sides of the board, so I decide to attack and break too. He takes on f4, I take back, pawn forward, horrible mistake. In my head I'm just thinking, oh yeah, open your gates, I'm about to go in. So some takes, rook forward and then back again, their king is wide open, they take on e6, and here I see mate again. The knight comes forward, they take the knight, it's all part of the plan. I take back with check, they go forward, I can check them again with the queen. Tension is rising, I can do it, I can checkmate them. They move to the wrong square, forced checkmate is blundered. After rook e7, rook f7, take, king moves, queen g7 is mate. But here my amazing 900 ELO mind sees only two things, a bishop and a queen, no other piece is on the board. They move, I move, they take, and I take, pinning my queen to the king. I need to take, they take with check, and after this is just slaughter. Check after check, I lose the rook, the dignity, and ultimately the game, to checkmate. But let's switch things up. Now we are going to play with black, and what you're about to see is pure poetry in motion, the ultimate low elo chess experience, a win pulled out with a 38% of accuracy, with the opponent playing a staggering 5% of accuracy. They push e4, we play the king's Indian. At this point you might have understood that I know no openings, but we stick to the theory this time. They take out the queen super early, we challenge her, they move to f4, for some obscure reason. I need to go on with my opening plan though. g6, they push the pawn. I take, challenging the queen again. And here the perfect 900 elo mind of this gentleman takes on e5, blundering checkmate in 1. But I don't see it. I'm not thinking, oh now this gentleman is going to blunder checkmate in 6 moves. So I challenge the queen again, and I play g5 for absolutely no reason. They take, blundering again checkmate in 1, and again I don't see it. I challenge the queen again, and for the 3rd time in a row they don't retreat back to cover, blundering again checkmate in 1. And finally, after precise calculations my brain realizes that if queen goes here, then it's checkmate. And in triumphant fashion, composedly and thanking the gods of chess I claim my absolutely deserved victory. For the 4th game we are playing black again, this time the absolute banger of opening that every low elo plays without knowing what they are doing, the glorious Caro-Kann. Theory flows, and for the first time in the video moves look like they belong on a chessboard. e4, c6, knight f3, d5, pawn takes, I take back, d4, knight c6, chess.com has never seen so many books in a row on my account, and now here come the classical, the pin on the knight, but we don't care, we just finished watching a video on the Caro-Kann, we can't be fooled. Another pin, we don't care again, bishops are forking us until death, the knight comes in, we are not scared, we are prepared, we are expecting exactly that. Knight takes, helps us going out of the pin, so that we can create the ultimate pin. They castle, we move the bishop to protect the structure, they develop, it's our turn to castle, it looks like a normal game, they bring out the queen, they clearly have malicious intents. So I force them to take my knight, I want to move that queen, but instead they retreat, and here my mind starts shining again, I can take on d4 attacking the queen. But then, wait a second, if queen goes here, after takes, then this is checkmate. And at this moment my low elo doesn't realize that pawn h7 just saves the day perfectly, but after some seconds of panicking I get enlightened and find an incredible move, I can save myself. Rook c8, creating space for the king, and they don't waste a second, as predicted bishop takes, I take back, and the queen comes in. But I'm not scared. Come, take my bait. I move, they move. I position my queen on d6, we are staring at the king, knight back, I don't understand the move at all, but apparently is the top engine move. I start my attacking plan, the king moves, to allow the rook to slide, they take, I take, they attack my bishop, I'm scared now, I am too much of a coward not to retreat my bishop, and allow them to save the day. I panic, I threw an amazing opportunity. But incredibly, in a perfect 900 elo fashion they blunder, and my awesome plan can see the light. Rook to h8, pinning the queen to checkmate, if they move anywhere queen h2 brings the bread home, and after contemplating the position for yai too many seconds, my opponent tries desperately to save it, they channel their inner levy sacking the rook. But it's too late, and ultimately, reluctantly, with a bit of disgust, they resign. But we've seen too many proper moves. For our last game let's go back to our usual chaos, and let's see a perfect example on how why, even after blundering pieces, you should never, and I say never, resign, because there is a very special law that reigns at low elo, and that is that we are both at low elo, so this means that if I'm stupid enough to blunder a queen, then you're stupid enough to blunder the queen back. So buckle up, we are in for a wild ride. You know the drill, we are playing white, so reverse king's Indian. We start as per procedure and they do some weird stuff, pushing the g-pawn, I bring the knight to safety, I'm already lost, what is happening on the board? d4, e5, I take, they take, I decide to move the knight, because why not, queen out, and I need to retreat the horse, then some weird pawn moves again and I manage to blunder a pawn and the rook, with the only exception that somehow they don't take my rook and instead they play some weird move again. I should capitalize on all these weird moves, but the reality is that my brain cannot calculate all of this, and maybe that was actually their tactic, confusing the opponent and then striking. Anyway, I bring my rook to safety and place the knight on a nice square, but after they push a pawn I take the knight back for the second time in the game. And here my brain starts calculating, I have a genius idea, worth of Magnus. If I take the pawn and they take back, the pawn on b5 will be hanging. I take it with check and then I eat the bishop and maybe the rook, but they take with the knight. I'm not discouraged though, it can still work, so I take the knight, but they don't take back and instead push the pawn to protect my whole plan. I feel like I've been private of a part of me, but then after some time I realize, wait, I'm up 3 points now, so I retreat the bishop to safety, and for the third time in the game my knight jumps back on f5, my opponent pushes a pawn on h4, calling back for the fourth time in the game the knight on h4, and then they strike, like a lightning in a storm. Rook takes on h4, I take back, and now my king is naked, exposed, wide open, I know is no bueno, and my opponent instantly threatens checkmate. I start sweating, I cannot believe it. How is it possible that after leading the game, I'm once again going to get checkmated? But then, I'm not lost, I have f4, I play it, and then right after moving my pawn I remember, my worst enemy, en passant, attacking the queen. My opponent also is in the same brain power category as me though, and doesn't play it, and a huge relief comes from my side. So okay, after wiping the sweat off my forehead I play queen to f2, challenging the queen. It is bothering me, I hate the queens, they're so unpredictable. My opponent is losing though, the trade is no good for them, so they retreat, and decide to castle, at move 25. So it's my time to strike back. I don't waste time and I proceed to play the brilliant, amazing, queen takes g2, pinning once again the queen to the king, and this time too my opponent seizes the opportunity, trading a rook for a queen. I'm down again, damn me. But I'm not discouraged. After all, we both are at 900 elo. They play the abysmal queen g4, for no reason. I instantly challenge the queen flees, I check, they cover, and then I play rook e1, because the bishop is not protected, and I was calculating something. I'm still not sure what it was leading to, but it's not important. They move the knight, I attack the queen, and here my opponent decides that it was too easy playing against me and blunders the queen back. We exchange, they need to take the pawn, otherwise I have a huge passing pawn, and this gives me time to even recapture the knight. I protect the knight, that was pinned to the king. Finally I start to understand that if a piece is straight in front of the king I'm in trouble. They challenge my rook, so I decide to challenge the bishop back. Our brains is at a point in which it can only calculate one move and go, aha, me challenge, me move, me attack a piece, me defend. Then they move the king, and drooling with the possibility of winning the bishop that was pinning my knight, I check the king, instead of taking the free bishop instead, bishop that could now take my rook, but my opponent doesn't see it, and moves the king to safety. Me realizing what I just did, I immediately take the bishop and thank the gods of chess for saving me from my dumbfoolery. We then play some unimportant moves. We exchange a knight for their last bishop, and now the endgame starts. There's most likely thousands of different checkmates possible, but I don't see any. The clock is ticking. I know only one thing, I need a queen. I start pushing the pawns, I eat theirs, I even give up a rook for a pawn. I need to simplify, my brain cannot calculate otherwise, and I don't want to risk them to make a new queen. My opponents though knows the rules of low elo. Anyone else would resign here, they don't, because they know that I can still stalemate from this position. It's their unlucky day though. I lock in, and after missing most likely an infinite numbers of mates in one, I manage to finally checkmate my opponent and rise even closer to 1000 elo.